CL's point, Dallas Goedert had 10 receptions, 170. He was the lead.
Career high.
Now Slim Reaper did get hurt in the game, and I know a lot of folks were giving Christian Boyd slack saying he was playing dirty. But even Slim Reaper,
he balled.
He balled out. He had what, 7 receptions for 79 yards. Out of the, with them not having A.J. Brown, he was able to do his thing.
And I think that's the point, Fave. With them not having A.J. Brown, somebody like Goddard had to step up. When Slim Reaper goes out, somebody like a Saquon has to step up.
Yeah.
Who was that supposed to be for the New Orleans Saints when we didn't have Taysom Hill? Who was supposed to step up? Obviously, Alvin is going to be Alvin. But outside of Alvin, outside of Shee going deep, outside of Olave doing crossing routes, who else on the offense is going to step up and be that other guy that Derek Carr can depend on moving forward?
No, you make a good point. That is important. Saquon did step up in the absence of not only Slim Reaper, but you had A.J. Brown, but you had Dallas Goedert and you had Saquon. Somebody on offense has to be the hot hand, has to, get things going. And if you look at this statistically, 17 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns for Saquon. Now, most folks will look at that statistically and like, man, did the Saints defense get caught sleeping? No, I just think that Philly came out ready to play. Now, let's take a look at the Saints offense. And feel free, guys, to chime into the conversation. Again, the number is 800-998-1003. You could call in, or you could come out here. We have the mics. We would love to have you guys come out here. We have tons of seats for y'all to come out and sit down and enjoy the show. We do appreciate the folks that's chiming in right now, checking us out. It is greatly appreciated.
For sure.
But CL, I want you in the dome. See, that's the beautiful thing about this show, man. We got the folks like myself like to watch TV, sit at the crib, get a little something cooking, maybe throw something on the grill. But CL, if it's a home game, more than likely he's going to be there. So now I want to talk to you about the Saints' offense. He going anyway. Now I want to talk to you about the Saints' offense.
Yeah.
Chris Olave, he had 6 receptions. He led the team in receptions, 86 yards. I think the big difference, and you can clarify this, and you have to give props to Philadelphia for being able to be on top of this, but you have to look at it from the perspective of, man, they took Rashid Shaheed out of the game.
Yeah, which is quite curious to me because I think we did more of taking Shaheed out the game compared to what Philly did because majority of the game, and obviously Fave can speak to this being a former defensive lineman, they ran that Bear defense and, they were in the box and they tried to stop our run. But once again, I also believe we stopped our run because for the past two games, we averaged 40 rushes a game. This game, we only had 30. So I think we kind of played into their hand as well as, Vic Fangio having a great scheme lined up for us with that Bear defense. But the fact that they stayed in the Bear the entire game kind of made me wonder, why we went 22 or 11 personnel so much.
Yeah, and I also, as I always do, I appreciate Baldy. Brian Baldiger, he does a good job at doing the breakdowns of the different players. And Jalen Carter may have single-handedly annihilated the Saints' offensive scheme, and that's really what the issue was with Alvin's production. If you look at the Dallas Cowboys' defense, and CL, he agreed with me, he ready to rip it.
Yeah.
If you look at the Dallas Cowboys defense in game 2, Dak and them were able to try to come back, and they almost, beat Baltimore at home.
Right.
But that Dallas defense not like it used to. But Philly's real, huh, CL?
Philly is real, and never to forget the fact that four plays in, a la Aaron Rodgers, we lose our center, Eric McCoy, in the middle, and it shuffles our best line. PFF in the last two weeks rated Eric McCoy and Patrick left guard. Patrick
Lucas.
Patrick Lucas, the best 2 offensive linemen in football, PFF wise. So the fact that we lost McCoy, had to move Patrick from left guard to play center, and then now we have Udo at left guard.
Noodle.
Right. And then eventually Ruiz goes down even though he comes back. So we're shuffled that offensive line against those monsters that they have up front. And yes, Jalen Carter did wreck the game after that.
If y'all are just tuning in inside the trenches, we're live here, baby, at Small Sliders, 1635 Barrett Boulevard in Marrero. So if you happen to live on the West Bank, or you travel to the West Bank, or you work on the West Bank, stop on over here. Let us be what I like to call your snack dinner, right? You don't want to eat a full meal. You might want to do a smoothie or a shake when you get home, when you watch a little bit of Monday Night Football. Come get you a snack over at Small Sliders, or you can eat it right out here with us, enjoy the show, be able to chime in, etc.
It's called Small Sliders because it could be a small meal if you decide that you want to do that.
That's facts, baby. For real, though. This is going to be my small meal for the night. I'm going to get me the biggie.
Wait.
You know?
Wait, we just said we going to go a small meal, and you said you going to get the biggie?
That's still a small slider?
Yeah, but that's still two biggies.
And I said
that ain't going to be no.
I said
so you're going to get one biggie, and the other one going to be regular.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to either get the one biggie with the bread, or I'm going to get the two biggies with the bacon and no bread.
Oh.
I'm trying to tell you, it's more
Sound
life
like
with
a
that
win-win.
one. It's a win-win. CL is definitely right. Speaking of win-win, we're definitely going to have to get you guys. Oh, definitely. Oh, yes. Ooh. Kenzie just rolled up on his ass about them drinks. You better believe it.
Pretty please.
I'll take me a water. What
Can
you
I have a
drinking?
lemonade, please?
Thank you so much,
Pretty
Kenzie.
please.
So,
Thank you.
what I definitely will say is Monday Night Football is tonight. We do have an exciting two games. Jacksonville, I want to say they take on Buffalo. I already know who CL rolling with on that one. And then we get to watch two of LSU's latest Heisman Trophy winners go head-to-head as Washington takes on the struggling Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah. But CL, I want to get back to the Saints game. We're going to talk about those games here coming up in a few segments. Speaking of coming up in a few segments, we'll be joined by off the bench's very own T-Bob Abel. He's going to come on and
T-Bob,
chop it up with us.
Sure.
We're going to talk a little LSU. We'll have him later on in this hour. But CL, another thing I want to talk about, I know we were talking about Jalen Carter earlier.
Yeah, big boy.
They were moving him around. He knocked Trevor Penning back, I want to say 3 yards, tackle Alvin Kamara, tackle for loss. They moved him over to Luke Patrick. Same thing. We see the same thing happen.
Right.
Do you see this team struggling against those big, heavy, strong interior linemen? Because, I mean, you do have that a little bit in Atlanta, in a couple of these other games we have coming up.
I don't necessarily see them struggling. What happened was in the midst of the game, in prime time, if you will, we had to make adjustments. We had to move our left guard to center and then bring in a backup. So quintessentially, Carter was going against backups. And obviously, this guy is amazing. His last year wasn't as productive as he wanted it to be. Coming into this year, I think Vic Fangio challenged him, and I think, unfortunately, the New Orleans Saints also challenged him by chirping to him on the sideline. So
that was a big mistake.
Yeah, so in a movie business, we call that a perfect storm. Like, you created all these conditions to make this player show you who he really is, and I think that's what happened.
And CL, as we wrap here, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this next. Man, Eric McCoy going down and getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like, that was a big deal.
Major.
That was major. Like you said, they had to bump Buddy inside. My mind slips me. And Luke Patrick had to come in. They had to do some moving around. So, I mean, that affected the Saints greatly in yesterday's matchup. But, hey, let's look at the bright side. This defense is still playing good, able to create turnovers. Tyrann Mathieu. He's still able to get things done and do it in a major way. And in CL, we can't forget at the same token as we wrap here, it's good that they did draft it and did what they did in free agency the way they did in the center guard.
And I know we're about to jump out of here, but let's not underestimate the importance of a Taysom Hill, especially on third down.
Well, we're here, baby, 1635 Barrett Boulevard in Marrero. It's Small Sliders, baby. Y'all slide through. We'll be here till 8 o'clock. Y'all come on through. Enjoy yourselves with us, man. And look, when we come back, we're going to look at the remainder Saints schedule, baby.
Yep.
We're definitely going to check that out for sure. And one thing we can say is It's still a beautiful schedule, and we still could be Super Bowl bound. It's Inside the Trenches on ESPN New Orleans.